all of us remember with deep gratitude the loving kindness that emerged right away. And my problem is, as I remember that, I think about how it's been, my phrase is stampeded by aggressive self-protection that now seems to have invaded the planet. And I was thinking about, I made a list here, Iraq, Afghanistan, Katrina, the tsunamis, some of these are natural, some are London, Madrid, Moscow, Yemen, Darfur, Jerusalem, Gaza, Haiti, and just what this 10 years has been, and a chunk of it is what humans have done to humans and are doing to humans. So I said trepidation before because that's what I feel. I am thankful, and I'm so thankful for gatherings like this because it restores my belief in what's really in people's hearts.
But the support of the community at Ground Zero, and I was thinking of one of the chaplains I interviewed for the book, who was saying that there's a sense of sacredness that goes with being in the right place at the right time. And that sense of, he said that when he thinks back, 9/11's not like I'm thinking back 5 years, or I imagine I'm thinking back 10 years. He said for him, this is held in Kairos time rather than Chronos time. It's held in God's time rather than temporal time, so I can go back to it like it was yesterday. And that sense of the sacred there that I think for many of us that got to work alongside people in such suffering, and to be challenged and gifted enough to do so was a real privilege. And that's as fresh today, I think, as it was almost 10 years ago now.
Just moving with that too, because of it is a privilege, it's not a right. Just moving with that too, because of it is a privilege, it's not a right for us to be able to do this. And so responsibility comes with privilege. And so there's something though about the grace that comes with being able to do the required helpfulness that our call asks us to, that sometimes also I think it's easy, and I've watched it happen, and I know my impulse has been to say when people would then turn around, whether at St. Paul's it was mostly responders, right? It was construction workers, it was Verizon, it was all. I'd say thank you, and they'd say no thank you, and I'd say no thank you, and they'd say no really, we couldn't do it, and I'd say no, it's not, I'm not down there with the bucket brigade, it's really thank you. That ability,
no, thank you.
Right. And because in some ways we're cut from the same cloth, because the people that do that responding are also doing required helpfulness as part of their psychological makeup oftentimes as well. So that becomes in some ways hard to accept the fact that it is to be able to accept and say, you know what, this is a privilege and I accept that. This is an honor and I accept the honor also and the thanks. And it's interesting because being part of DCS now for all these years, and we continue to work. We've got hundreds of chaplains that work consistently on a regular basis. Just actually a couple of months ago, I think it was in March, when the bus crash, the fatal bus crash happened in the Bronx that was coming down from the casino. I was working, I was actually at the site visit with the families when they went back on the week anniversary to the site. And a community affairs officer, as we're leaving the site, I feel a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and she said, Chaplain, I know you from St. Paul's. And here it is almost 10 years later, and she used to work the ramp. She was at the end of the ramp, and I used to see her at the end of the ramp, and then she'd come in and we'd get coffee, and she's like, wow, you're still doing this. And I said, hey, you're still doing this, because not everybody keeps doing this. And that's another part of it, both on the responder side, on our side, of the 900 whatever number of chaplains that responded through disaster chaplaincy services at that point. probably less than 100 of the ones that currently serve are from that original group. A very small number of that original group choose to continue to serve in that capacity, in that way. There still are people, I don't know the impact, and everybody else in here that actually worked, there's a lot of you in here, I see you. It's not often that we get to actually know 10 years later that somebody remembers you, because I didn't do it for somebody to remember me. And to know that we did make a difference, because at the time, that emptiness, it doesn't feel like making a big difference. But to experience that return that we did make a difference, I'm still on the job, and somebody took the time to have coffee with me and to shifts. It's important.
There's a report that you understand from the Netherlands, and oh, okay, all right. Oh, there you are. Okay, yeah. And it was a period of time that I went back to the Netherlands to support the Impact Foundation. So much so the customs thought I must be a drug dealer. So I was with the black guy going back to the Netherlands.
Well, I hope it was for the drugs.
Nevertheless, I say that to say because the concern that was at the Netherlands was 10 years after the Flight El Al disaster, that there was still concern about the health of the community. And it was clear, contrary to what popular belief would be, that people weren't cured, they weren't over it per se, that there still were very deep feelings. And so I noticed one of the questions is, how do you feel? CPE question, I know. But I wonder, some of us thought we were over it, we dealt with it, it's all intellectual now, and we're realizing wrong answer.
So let me answer this, because he and I had a question. I originally wasn't going to come tonight. And I called my brother up, Will, and said, Will, I don't want to be here tonight. I just want 9/11 to be over. And part of me feels overwhelmed. It's the reality for me is it's overwhelming. But part of me then also feels gratitude. And part of me feels scared. I still wake up at night and say, did I take care of the 900 people underneath me? I know a nun who died 5 years ago, and I took it very personally. That I wasn't able, in all of our systems, to take care of her. And so I feel many things. I still feel responsible, but I know to let go and let God in that feeling. And the feelings are really mixed. I don't come down here often through self-care. I lived through a war before 9/11. I put on a gas mask every night for months. And I knew that when 9/11 happened, I said I had a balance in which to reference it to. I was able to use that, and I used that for self-care. But without, I wonder, was I able to help enough people with self-care that the 800 who aren't serving, where are they today? And so I feel many things. And it's a full spectrum of belief, both gratitude, joy, sadness, fear, and still I feel responsible 10 years later.
I probably don't remember a lot of specific faces or names in this room from back then, but everybody who worked down there really appreciated the services that you provided. And this certainly, getting this information out to you is my way of trying to take care of the caregivers, but I can't hug you and bring you all the way back to the clinics to do this. That part you have to do yourselves. I appreciate your time. Agatha Roman is one of our newest coordinators, but she worked in our call center previously for years and has spoken to thousands of World Trade Center responders. And usually they call to enroll and end up speaking to you for about an hour on the phone about their experiences. And she probably knows as much about the experience as anybody could, not physically being there, but the significance of her being here especially is I know a lot of you provide services for people that are non-English speaking, who may have also been brought down to Ground Zero or the related sites to do recovery and cleanup work, and they're eligible for the program. We need your help in reaching out to those people.